Let's say hi to Scott in New York. Scott, what's up?
Hey, boys,
Hey.
it's cool. Hey, I'd say the luckiest sport is NASCAR. You figure there's one crash, someone who's in 20th position could end up number one.
Is that really a sport? I understand it's an event.
Again,
I think auto racing, I don't consider it a sport. I'm sorry.
That's a bad part.
And they're trying to sell NASCAR now as a sport.
As a sport.
And what they do now is they show
It's the biggest
a computerized.
Oh, the graphics they got now are amazing.
He's in this guy's headwind.
Yeah.
It's not a sport when
He's
they
in the
try too
draft.
hard to show you why it's something special. It stinks.
They got little arrows on the car that follow the car with the name of the driver. I kind of like that, but I don't consider it a sport. It's a spectacle.
What is the luckiest sport out there?
Yeah.
And, things that prove that your sport is boring. Those are two things right there.
And
Patrice O'Neill in studio today.
of course, somebody wants to argue the point about NASCAR being a sport.
Hey, man, NASCAR is...
I know it's popular. Dude, it's popular,
huge.
It's huge, but I don't
think it's the number
consider
one-
it a sport.
I think it's the number one spectator sport at this point.
Don't consider it a sport.
Joe.
Spectacle.
No way.
Joe, what's up?
Joe.
What's up, fellas? First,
Hey.
I want to say I'm a big fan.
Thank you, sir.
I'm a convert from that guy, that jackass over at Sirius. Yeah, I'm definitely a convert, but dude, NASCAR is a sport.
Now, how is it defined as a
200 miles an hour in the car.
It's a crime.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's...
I've been around for 500 miles.
Yeah, but
Dude,
Anthony-
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's not amazing to watch and that it takes talent, but I don't see it as being a sport. For some reason, the word sport... What?
More of a sport than golf, you got to give it that.
More of a sport than golf? No. I consider golf a sport.
No.
That's a physical sport.
You're adding the danger to it.
Patrice has argued in the past that golf is an activity.
It's a skill. It's a
But
skill.
it's not a sport.
And driving a car at 200 miles an hour is and not being afraid.
It's not driving your car. It's driving a car. It's not.
No one cares. I mean,
Yeah, but-
jumping out of an airplane,
I think-
according to you, is a
It's a
sport.
machine.
I think to be called a sport, you have to be in the gym on the off season. During the off season, working on some kind of muscle that you need for your sport. Like what are the NASCAR workers, riders?
Toe tendon.
What are they working on their one
The
calf?
gas pedal foot.
Big toe ups. That's what they do all day up.
They're doing big toe ups.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a sport than golf. Personally, I enjoy it.
All right. Hey Joe, don't take this stuff seriously. We're just asses.
Yeah, I understand.
All right.
Hey, Patrice, when you coming around to Philadelphia, Delaware way, man?
The who?
Philadelphia, Delaware.
I just did.
Helium?
Yeah.
Sid?
Yeah, he was just through there. I think he's going to be in San Francisco this weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Punchline?
Yes, sir.
All right, great club out there. All right, Joe, thank you. Hey, thanks for listening to us. We appreciate the converts, man.
Oh, dude, yeah, there's no question. I'm saying.
Right on, man. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you,
Joe in Delaware, everyone. We can have fun with sports. I love talking sports with Patrice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be able to, work out in a gym during the off season for it to be a sport.
That's pretty much it.
Because even at this point, golfers are like bench pressing and stuff, getting their bodies in shape. I don't see the NASCAR drivers in the gym
No.
in between races or during the off season.
Even though they're not fat, rednecky dudes, though.
Yeah.
They're in shape dudes, I think.
Yeah. I think they're in shape. It takes a lot of endurance to be in a hot car for that long without passing out. But I don't consider it a sport because I think the machine is doing most of the work, and that's why I don't consider it a sport. It's like a robot event, something. It's like a robo sport.
But people who love their particular sports, they gotta understand why you would not. Like, I'm a football, basketball. I can argue about how you do. It's easy to see.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but we were just talking about
A little NASCAR.
It's either I don't know what race this was. They just showed a kangaroo on the course.
Oh God.
This is your video of the day.
That was the Armor All shootout.
All of a sudden, there was a kangaroo that got hit by a car or something.
Oof.
Am I seeing things? There you go. Let's go to the phones. It's Opie and Anthony. Let's
rolling.
say hi to Rich on Long Island. Rich, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, I just wanted to say NASCAR was started by a bunch of moonshiners. How can you call that a sport?
That's true. They were running from revenuers and cops with whiskey in their trunk.
And then somehow that turned into a sport.
Yep.
Yeah, baseball wasn't started by a bunch of drunks.
That's right.
Very good, Rich.
And if it was, it wasn't based on that.
Let's start our list. So if your sport was founded by moonshiners, it can't be a sport.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're running from the cops, you can't turn that into a sport.
Yeah, it's not really a sport.
If the actual activity of breaking the law was like if baseball was based on beating someone in the head
with the bat.
With the bat. And you go, wow, imagine if his head came off and we just hit it to another guy and then he tossed it back at me.
That couldn't be a sport.
That couldn't be a sport.
Yeah, if your sport is based on some kind of illegal
some kind
activity,
of crime, right?
Then, yeah, it's not officially a sport. I like that. All right, we're making our own rules for sports. Let's say hi to Chris in Queens. Chris, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, I was just talking about NASCAR. You could take a 2-hour nap in the middle of the race and not miss anything, then I don't think it's a sport.
As far as you watching at home.
Yeah.
Well, that's you watching it, too. I got to say, it is, because I used to watch NASCAR all the time, way back in like the 80s. And it's exciting. Even when you think, because people go, oh, it's just cars going round and round. They're always jockeying for position and trying to pass the guy. And, you get to that curve where they pass usually, and it's pretty exciting. They trade and paint and stuff. It's definitely an exciting, fun thing to watch, but it's not a sport.
My brother Brett is a huge NASCAR fan.
Yeah.
And when I finally sat down with him and he explained what was going on, I was like, oh, wow, I could watch this. Like when you just watch as your dumb self and you don't know anything about it and you're just watching them go round and round.
Yeah.
Like, what's the big deal? But when you have someone that really knows the sport explaining what's going on, it's like, oh, wow, okay. Oh, so he's got to pit here, right? Or he's effed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he better pit here. But if he waits another lap, then this could blah, blah, he just starts telling you all this strategy.
What actually made NASCAR more popular than ever also is the way it's covered on television. When you just had like a camera from a distance following the cars around, it was really bad. Now there's 1,000 cameras. They got all kinds of experts and graphics, like Patrice was talking about, in-car cameras.
Yeah, they're all on How Talk.
It's just, yeah.
And the arbitrary, and another thing that is, you have to explain, somebody who knows these sports has to explain the arbitrary numbers that are involved, meaning why isn't baseball 4 innings? Why isn't NASCAR
arbitrary?
Why
numbers.
is it 275 laps? Why can't it be 10 laps? And then I can watch another race. That's another 10 laps with 20 other dudes. And then at the end, all the people who won 10 laps that day race again for the big prize with their last 10 laps. So it's like 7 10-lap things, and then the 8th one is I
think there are races like that. They do heats, not NASCAR, but
yeah, CW from
motocross
he
does
writes,
that.
How about all those gay equestrian sports? Anything with horses involved is not really a sport.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I agree.
That is transportation of the old days.
And I don't understand.
That's like transportation in the 1800s. That can't be a sport.
And I don't understand why, like, the person that's just on top of the horse gets all the credit.
It's the horse doing all the work. Look at his muscles.
I guess it's him beating him on the ass.
Yeah.
I guess
he
a midget on my neck just poking him with a pencil outside of my cheek.
My neck.
Maybe I should give him credit.
That jockey beat that horse the best out there.
He beat him the best.
Yeah, he beat him the best. So
He was
made
the
that
lightest.
horse go ouch right at the right time.
Yeah. He vomited all his food for the past week, and he was able to hit the horse.
He was able to make the horse go, you mother effer, the best.
Tyra
Banks weighs more than a jockey. They're
Tyra
like 80
Banks
pounds.
weighs more than
Well,
you.
now she's weighing more than the horse. She's creeping up on the weight of the horse. The stupid horse is getting hit, and he's actually trying to run away from the crop, not knowing that it's a midget on your back hitting you with it.
Yeah.
He thinks if he runs faster, he's going to run away from that whip, but that whip is on his back.
All right, hey, people are calling like crazy about NASCAR. Relax.
Yeah.
We understand.
Don't worry about it.
It's a huge sport.
We appreciate it's fun to watch.
And here's another thing, dude, that explains it's not being a sport. If too many people have to run to defend it, if somebody goes, football stinks, people would just dismiss him as a loon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not. If somebody said football's not a sport, no one would people would go, oh, okay, good enough.
Yeah.
But people at NASCAR or golf or swimming. They got to call in to defend. Like, why would I have to sit there, with your brother and he goes, right there. That's when. It's like if you watch football, you go, or baseball even, you go, oh, he just hit a home run. Everybody knows what a home run is, even if they don't know baseball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one knows when to go into a pit.
A lot of phone calls coming in today. Mike, what's up? A lot of Long Islanders checking in today. What's up, Mikey?
Hey, how you doing? Mike from Smithtown. How you doing?
Right on, Mike.
Oh, it's a sporting event if steroids affect the game. I think you even give it to the horses also.
Okay, so if you can take steroids to enhance the game, then it's a sport.
It's a sporting event, yes.
That's a good point, though.
Like, you can't take steroids and be a NASCAR driver. It's not going to help you.
Right, it doesn't make your foot press down harder.
Right.
It probably does make your foot press down harder, though.
But it would have to go to the ground for it to mean anything. In the engine. He has to be scraping the battery
through
with
the
his foot.
floor.
Like Fred Flintstone.
Go off, too, when you're driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Hey,
That's a good point, though.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Sam. We proved that you're kind of dumb. That's great. All right, why don't we take a break?
Wow.
Get into some
Get some
things.
Visine or something.
Okay. Let's say hi to Mike in Jersey. Mike, what's up today?
Yeah, want to ask Patrice a question.
Go ahead.
Why does he think black guys never made it in any kind of auto racing?
And so I think, from what I understand, I think Bill Burr told me this, is that is a tremendous white guy's thing, is auto racing. It's like it has its roots in moonshine and driving from the cops, and it's a real yeehaw kind of thing. I don't think there was no place to get into that in the inner city. There's no place to where could we develop that. And another thing of why my theory is that we got basketball, why we're so good at it, is because it's a very cheap
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say that.
You need a ball, and the courts are all over the place.
Any hole. Not just a fucking hoop, but they used to make motherfuckers stand with their arms out.
Who was that poor bastard that had to do that?
And stand with or a crate. But that's why, like, hockey, black people are like, oh, the niggas' butts is too high and the ankles are weak. They don't like the cold. It's the fact
they don't like the cold.
They don't like cold. They have weak ankles and high butts. And the reason we didn't play is because first of all, your dad had to get up at 5 in the morning, and that's if dad was around. And I'm not even trying to be funny. Your dad's good.
True, yeah.
No black dad is getting up at 5 in the morning to go rent a hockey rink.
There's a big father-son thing.
It's an expensive sport to play.
And it is a father-son thing. Like, it's usually the father hooking the kid up
Not really.
with all the gear and everything.
We'd get just a bunch of guys together, and we'd go to the rink at like 3 in the morning. That's when you
I mean, like, as
hockey.
a kid, when you want to start out, if you're going to be a pro, something like that, because I think that's what we're talking about, like attaining.
I don't think it was a father-son sport. No way, man. It was in Canada with all the frozen lakes, and you just did what you did with your buddies. You got a bunch of your buddies together, and you found a piece of ice and said, well, let's screw off for a while.
I understand, like, how that would be, but here in America, in order to... I think if you asked a majority of the professional American hockey players, it started out... I don't think there were a lot of single moms raising them. I think it started out with a father that would go to the rink early with his son, because you need a rink, build one in his backyard. I know I've heard a few people have done that in the northern states, something like that. And I think you brought up a good point there.
Well, that's why the NASCAR question I just is like, thinking about it, you go, where could you got to have a car.
Yeah.
And second of all, you got to be... The black guys that do it, I guess it might be one. I think it's one or two, maybe.
Yeah, there've been a couple.
And you have to deal with
one in every sport.
rednecks, man. You gotta fucking, to this day, probably gotta fight like some civil rights shit to get a nigga to drive and then motherfuckers trying to drive him and kill him against the wall or whatever. It's an expensive thing, but that's why we play. We're good at baseball, good at basketball, and good at
because it's cheap sports.
They're cheap sports.
Let's go to Chad in Virginia Beach. Chad, go.
Hey. The reason there's no black guys in NASCAR is you can't put 26-inch spinners on them.
Fucking dick. You don't even need to finish that, asshole.
26-inch spinners.
You have to put spinners on your NASCAR.
You don't want to have rims on your...
Oh, fuck off. Fucking asshole.
Every lap they get pulled over and harassed by the police.
That's the only motherfucker that have his license. Sorry, sir.
It's like, what the fuck can I do now?
His insurance car at the pit stop. Yes, this is valid, sir.
Sir, you want to step out of the vehicle, please? I'm strapped in here. Got a 5-point harness.
All right, Leroy, you ready? Man, I got to put my hand on the hot hood.
Okay, back away from the vehicle. Could you just back away with your hands on your head, please? Is there a passenger?
No, there's no passenger. I'm racing here.
Motherfucker, it's nothing but a cage. Then all the other white boys are rubbernecking. Oh, man.
Yeah, look at that. He must have done something wrong. The Daytona 500 is over. The announcer has to announce that the black guy finally completed one lap.
The police pulling them over.
Look, I'm in the lead.
Pull him over to the side. Pull him over to the side.
Is there a problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing 182. Yeah, but that white boy was just doing 215.
Yeah, but I pulled you over. There's some racial profiling on it. No. You were speeding.
Although Jeff Gordon's like, I think Leroy got weed in his car. What?
Sir, I'm smelling marijuana in your vehicle. Could you step out? Do you mind if I search the vehicle for drugs?
This is some bullshit. All right, sir, put your face on the top of the car, please. What the fuck?
Fucking cars are going around. The guy's being tased on. Oh, shit.
Oh, see, what the fuck?
Oh, shit.
Niggas in a NASCAR adjusted his rearview mirror. Oh, what? Is that me? Is there a problem, officer?
Damn, I thought I was safe out here. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Chris,
shit.
let's say hi to Chris in Canada. Chris, what's up?
Oh, hey, how you guys doing? You guys are fucked.
What's up?
Well, see, they can't get the afro underneath the helmet, so, it's pretty shitty question.
Oh, Jesus. Chris. Well, we did make fun of Canada, so I guess, you got to give it to him. Go ahead,
Joe
Chris.
Gibbs has got the thing going on, Drive for Diversity. They got at least 4 African-American drivers, and they put them in pit crews, everything else. They're coming into the sport big. They're paying their way, and it should be a good thing. They got commercials on NASCAR.com and on NASCAR 166 for who the young black kids heroes are in NASCAR.
All right, there you go. Someone said there's only 2 black racers in history. McFly, the trucker.
No, there's more than 2, but the 2 that are the most prevalent were Wendell Scott back in the 1950s, who were admired by a lot of those rednecks that Patrice is talking about.
Richard Pryor. There's a Richard Pryor movie, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And also those Bill Lester in the Craftsman Truck Series.
There was a guy in the 80s. That used to race, too. I think it was NASCAR. Might have been Indy, though.
It probably was Indy, but that doesn't ring a bell to me. But anyway, punch it out.
Thank you, buddy.
And NASCAR don't like the Indy guys. It's a big rivalry there.
This is that's interesting, man.
Like
I didn't know
the exposed wheels are bad, and the fenders are good if you're a redneck.
Are you serious?
And like the NASCAR guys look at Indy racing like, yeah, goddamn, where are you going, Billy Bob tonight? You going to Indy racing? It's like a big joke. Yeah, faggot.
Well,
they
let me
don't
ask
like
you
that.
this: this is a question I have to take back to the black community.
Okay,
we like to know.
All right.
How is one motherfucker better than another at pushing a pedal? How do you become the best car driver?
Now we're going to have to talk about it for about a half hour to 45 minutes.
How do you become, how's Jeff Gordon a name when I can push a fucking pedal as good as Jeff Gordon
Do you
can?
think you could push a pedal and keep it on the track and pass other motherfuckers pushing pedals like that?
I do in New York every day, nigga. Big deal, NASCAR.
You got to know when to hit the pits. You got to know when to pass. You got to know all that shit.
Yep.
You got to know when to draft.
When to go around him. It's better to be in second.
But that's technique.
Yeah.
We're talking about
isn't everything technique and finesse and stuff? A lot of these guys are also
get a good pit crew that know how to make the car run, at high performance.
Yeah. A lot of the successful guys too now are, born into it. These are guys that are born into their fathers did it. Their fathers were on the crews or on they were drivers themselves. and they get into it that way. I think it's pretty hard for just
there's
some
a lot of
schmuck
fucking
to come up
cheating
and
in
go.
NASCAR. Big time cheating.
Yeah, they bang
A lot
into
of
each other
cheating,
a
a
little
lot
bit.
of bullshit they ain't supposed to be doing, and they do.
Shut up.
Called foul.
It's like any other sport.
He fouled him.
Everyone's cheating. Everybody cheats. Greg on Long Island.
Yeah, hi. They can't have the blacks in the pits because they take the tires off and they wouldn't put them back on.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
You know what's fucking hilarious? God bless these motherfuckers out there. It's never been a chance. That was not a today joke. That was a fucking 10 years ago.
Right.
It is like, I get to say this?
I get that. I'm going to use the joke.
That joke is in our DNA.
That joke is just born.
That joke is the TV on the shoulders running down the street joke.
He gave birth to that joke.
That joke.
Push.
That joke started when we started rolling rocks. When we realized you could roll a rock, that joke was invented.
Holy shit.
It's just like you can fit, they roll off so wonderfully. It's like he's been practicing it. They take the wheels off and won't give them back, baby. Blow!
All right.